Hi everyone, welcome to our September overview video. Just a little surprised by how that went, but everything's good. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday. It's release day at Hero Arts, and we just released a huge Halloween themed release, and I'm really excited about it. I have all the products here, well, almost all the products here to share with you, as well as a ton of samples. In fact, I think I counted like over 50 samples to share. A lot of them are going to be photos, but I do have some here in person to show on the camera. But we'll do a little bit of demoing too, and it's just a really, really great release. So I'm going to go ahead and change my view here so we can see my work surface. There we go. All right. Hi, Beth. Everyone, isn't it? I'm so excited about this release. I love Halloween. I am an October baby, so I think I've always felt connected to it. It's like my holiday. and I'm really excited about all the Halloween products. We're going to start by looking at the September card kit of the month. So this is a jam-packed kit. And actually, let me pop over and show you. Oh, I have another. Linda, you love Halloween too? That's awesome. I'm going to switch over and just show you real quick the picture of the whole kit so you can see everything that's included in the September kit. Here you go. Here's all the products. There's a Haunted Clear set. It's called Haunted Scenic. 20 coordinating dies, Animal Eyes Clear stamp set. This is a smaller one. It's 3x4. The Haunted Scenic one is a large set at 6x8. There's a moon die, which is really awesome. I love that die. It's very big, which is so great for your focal point of your card. Then we have white decorative tape, white pumpkin decorative tape, black crows decorative tape, woo! And 2 sheets of hero transfers. They're Halloween themed, and they're really cool because one is black and one is white. And the white one's really awesome because it looks like heat embossing. But very easy to do. A glow-in-the-dark lacquer pen, that's exciting. Unicorn pigment ink, a classic, always handy to have. In fact, I do all my heat embossing pretty much now with my unicorn pigment ink. And 10 sheets of black watercolor paper. Okay, so let's actually take a look at all those products. Let me switch over here, put that away. There we go. Okay, so let's start with that stamp set, that large 6x8 stamp set, which is the Halloween Scenic stamp set. Here it is here. Look at how big this is. Very awesome, kind of like a scene building set. You have a big haunted house image. This actually fills, oops. Make sure I didn't bump my camera. Good. It will fill your card front really nicely. Then you have some additional elements to build your scene, a moon, a tree. I love that tree. Some of our creative team members use that really well. And what else do we have? Oh, I forgot to put the sentiment away. We have gates, pumpkins, tombstones, and then a bunch of images, or a bunch of characters, I should say. We have a witch, bats, ghosts, a really cool like mariachi skeleton band. I love that. I think that is really unique and different. Let me pop back over here. There we go. Yay, Elizabeth, you like to make Halloween cards? Me too. Yes, they're really great. It's a really great set. And trick-or-treaters, I love them. They're so cute. I love this little girl and her little wings. Little fairy or maybe a butterfly. We have Frankenstein, Frankenstein's bride, some crows or ravens. So yeah, a lot of stuff to fill a scene. And you can have totally different feels, totally different kind of, even though they're like all kind of Halloween themed cards or this kind of season, they definitely all have different feelings depending on what images you use. And I love that. They just work so well together. Okay, so that's a really awesome set. Let me show you, and there's coordinating dies. Let me grab that out because they go together. The 20 coordinating dies, here they are all here. That's all 20. And they cut out basically every single image in that set. Let's actually do it this way. every image in the set except for the moon, which you could always use a circle die for. Oh, good, Beth. Awesome. That worked out perfect then. And there are even dies for all 4 of the sentiments. Love that. Always love when there's dies for the sentiments. It just makes it so much easier when you're creating your card design because you don't have to like think that far ahead. Like, where's that sentiment going to go? Am I going to leave space on my card for that? Love that they can be die cut out. And if you're not familiar with Hero Art's sentiment dies, they cut so nice and close to the stamped words or letters. I have to pull some out so you can see. I love that. It just looks so professional when they're nice and close like that. Actually, let me pull out all the images since I'm going for it. So we'll put this over to the side. How do we get them? Ginger, you can actually order this on our website. Oh, and I forgot to add the links to the, let me add the links. I knew I was getting something, but you can go to our website and you can order the September kit. You can do a one-time purchase. Right now, you can order it one-time purchase. Let me send you the direct link for that, so there's no confusion. So here it is. Let me grab it real quick. But I do think I at least have a link for the whole collection in the video. Maybe I don't. Actually, now I'm thinking maybe I don't, because I didn't have that when I made the stream. Where do we go from here? I got lost. Here we go. All right, here it is. Here's the link. So that's a link to the kit. And so if you go follow that link, you can make a purchase of the kit right now. And I'm going through all the products in the kit, but on our website, we have the whole September release as well. But since I'm doing the kit right now, that's a good time to share it. Oh, it didn't do it. Wait, try again. Error occurred. Wait a minute, try again. All right, let's try one more time. Did that work? There it goes. I don't know why it didn't work for a second. Okay, so let me show you some of the images. Oh, it went twice. Okay. So we have that large haunted house. So cool. He's just stamped in black. Here's the sentiments like I was talking about. Look at how neat and tidy that is. Perfect. So I'll put those down there. And like I said, the bridges, tombstones. There's so many image bats. Gates. You have large and small. That tree is really awesome. The band. One thing I do want to show you too, so let me put all the sentiments down because you can see those. They're nice to see because they just stamp so beautifully. We even have Boo. There we go. I'm not going to lay out all the guys because the band actually, which I love, they die cut out all the members of the band are separate die. Like it's all one big die. I'm just doing a bad job explaining it. It's all one big die, but the die cuts them out so they can be freestanding, so you can move them around. So it's one die, really easy to cut them all out, and then you have them loose so you can use all of them if you want, or you can use fewer, which I have a card that I used fewer for. Frankenstein and Bride. Yeah, lots and lots of them. Trick-or-treaters. Love those guys. It worked. Yes, it worked finally. And the pumpkins. Now I want to show you something else about the pumpkins. Oh, we have a witch. And there's also a little teeny cat and dog. I might have lost. Wait, the cat's with the trick-or-treaters. See? And then we have a skeleton dog. He's so cute. So lots of images. I'd even show the crows or the ghosts. So many. But I also want to show you this fun idea, which I didn't do a lot of, but one thing I'd like to do with that you forget you can do with these solid stamps to kind of get into like a silhouetted way of thinking. You don't have to just stamp them in black. You could also stamp them in colored cardstock or in colored ink or embossing powders. But you can even stamp them in like a no-line coloring ink, like a really light ink. There we go. Let's get that focused. And then you can Copic color. So these pumpkins here, I stamped in Hero Arts contour ink and then just colored over the pumpkins with my Copic markers. So you can treat them like your line stamps almost when you stamp them in a light ink. It doesn't have to be a no line coloring ink like the contour ink. As long as it's a light ink, it can work. So that's something really, really cool and fun that you can do too. That's a good example. All right, and let's put a scene together real quick just for funsies because it's like the play part of making a card. I've ink blended this panel earlier with some like really rich colors. Let's put our haunted house there. Our tree, of course, because he's just perfect, the perfect touch. Oh, I love that. We should put some crows in the tree. I didn't know why I didn't do that earlier. I'm going to need my tweezers to do that. They are so cool. Or ravens. Is there a way to tell a difference? I don't know. Do you guys know if there's a difference between crows and ravens? I think ravens are bigger. Is that right? And couple. Brennan, how are you? Yes, Beth, I can't wait. It's so fun. I'm not going to be done making cards. I'm going to be continuing to make cards because I just love making. I think Halloween cards have become my new favorite cards to make. And then let's put the trick-or-treaters down here. Look at that fun scene we created. And of course, let's put the witch because she's so fun. Let's put her flying through the sky. Ah, I love it. So cool. We just put that together really quick. But that's basically just to silhouette it out. You could, of course, just stamp these in black directly onto the ink blended panel for like a very easy one-layer card. Let me show you another fun technique with these more solid-like stamps. So in addition to just kind of doing that silhouetted look and doing colored ink or heat embossing with your embossing powders or even that no line coloring technique, there is a fun technique that I'm going to share tomorrow in a video. So you guys are getting kind of a sneak peek of the project. Tomorrow, go to the Hero Arts YouTube channel. I'll have and blog, and I'll have a whole video on this card here where I use a really easy, this is an easy technique for adding texture to your stamped images. And it just works so well with this haunted house. So be sure to check that out. It's a really good technique to have in your bag of tricks for solid stamps. I even did it here on the pumpkins. You can see that like streaky. Let's see if it can focus. See that streaky look on the pumpkins and on the haunted house? So cool to add that added texture. I feel like these stamps are perfect for that. Very, very cool. And that's tomorrow. I'll have a video on that, so you can check that out. But love how this one turned out. I can't wait to make even more. All right, let's move on to some of the design team's cards or creative team's cards. The ravens are bigger. Heidi knows the difference. They scream at you. Oh, crows are the ones that say, caw. Oh, okay. Whichever they are, they say Halloween. Yep, I agree. What time tomorrow? Tomorrow, Beth will be at, I believe the blog post goes up at 4 a.m. Pacific time. So 3 hours later, so like that's 7 a.m. Eastern will be the video and blog post tomorrow for this card. That one. Okay, let me show you some of the amazing. Yeah, I haven't released it yet, Beth. I haven't released. Tomorrow, that video will go up. So you haven't missed anything. All right, and it's not a live, so it's not shared. It's not even like you can't get a notification for it because it's not a live. It's an edited, pre-recorded video. Okay, let me show you some of the awesome cards created by the creative team. They made so many. Look at this first one by Kelly. See where she stamped the images in that colored ink? This is a great example. She stamped the trick-or-treaters in purple, and look at how she cleverly used, I think she ink blended over the gates with green and the tree. I just love how smart she incorporated color into her design with these more solid styled stamps. I just love how people get so creative with them. So this was really cool. And look at her tombstone and gate, like reflections almost in the or shadows, really. I think they're shadows on the pavement where the kids are walking. So eerie and spooky. And here we have Sika's card next. Look at how she handled those solid stamps. Brilliant. She made a big moon mask with probably the circle die included in the kit, but you can just use a circle die, and then ink blended and then stamped on top with that haunted house, added the witch silhouette. And then you can see her skeletons are white heat embossed and then ink blended over with the same inks as the background. Such a brilliant design. So good. And then next up we have this one by Karen. I love how she colored the windows. That just brings so much life to that image. And it's a great way to kind of incorporate whatever colors you use for the moon. I mean, it doesn't have to be yellows. It could be green. I think that would be really neat, like an eerie green look inside the windows and an eerie kind of green moon. And look at her beautiful purple background. Love the way that one turned out. And then next up, this one is incredible. We have this one by Jen. So good. Look at all the texture she was able to add to her scene. It has so much depth. Love the blue. I don't think I would have ever thought about doing the blue. But she's got beautiful ink blended atmospheric background there. She's also ink blended her die cuts with a little bit of the same blue, so that white border kind of just disappears. You don't see it really. Just amazing. And of course, she colored in her windows and the pumpkin or the jack-o'-lanterns. So, so good, right? I'm telling you guys, the creative team knocked it out of the park. Yes, it does look like a haunted mansion. Totally the haunted mansion, right? From, well, it kind of reminds me of Psycho. Does it remind you guys of the Psycho house? That and Haunted Mansion Disneyland. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Okay, let's look at some other ones because there's more. We have this one here. This one is by Charlene. Here she did that perfect. This card really does show how great these stamps are for single layer cards. She made a beautiful blended background, did a little water spots, and then stamped her images in that silhouette kind of style with a black ink on top of that blended background. Just flawless. It looks so beautiful. I love the color she chose. And let's see, we have 3 more. Then we have this one by Jeannie. This one is very, very cool. Love the background. So clever how she actually heat embossed her over her black images. So they were kind of protected, and it has a really cool look because it looks almost shiny. And wait till you see what her card can do. Let's do picture number 2. Look, her card, her windows glow in the dark. She used that glow in the dark lacquer pen, which I will show you guys in just a second since this card uses it. But isn't that awesome? How fun. Oops. And let me show you one more. I'm not done. We've got this one here by Natasha. And she used the heat embossing. She used, I believe, iridescent embossing powder for the haunted house. I love seeing that in the purple and the black windows. I wouldn't have thought of doing that, and I really like the way that looks. And her pumpkins, they're so bright. They're amazing. And then we have this one by Rachel when she used like a black glitter embossing powder, and that's so fun. Her background here is amazing because she uses these eyes that are included in the kit. And then we have this one by Michelle. Look at how she used the band, the skeleton band. She die cut them, but she did a partial die cut, so they didn't cut all the way. So it's now this really awesome panel that's popped up with all the band members popped up, and she combined it with that really beautiful, simple, blended background with the moon. did some white gel pen stars. Just so perfect. She's really, really clever with how she uses images. And then we have this one by Jeannie. Also, love how she used just those band and then she did an ink blended background. Really, really clever. So 2 different takes, but very similar in style. Love them both. I never would have thought of doing that. And then this one by Pam. Look at that. She kind of incorporated them, turned them into like the letters. I call this letter substitution to make her sentiment. Isn't that awesome? So brilliant. I love her bright letters too. Perfection. I mean, so many, guys. And I think this is the last one. And this one by Pam too, very kind of clean and simple. I love this one as well because it just shows you the versatility of this set. You can make clean and simple cards too. It doesn't have to be all like these huge, elaborate Halloween scenes. So really, really awesome. I'll pop back over here to the comments. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. All right, great. So that is just the first stamp set and coordinating guys in the set. So there's more. There's more in this kit. Let me show you this real quick. So we've already seen it on one card. Also included in the September card kit of the month is this glow in the dark lacquer pen. Lacquer pens are really awesome. They can add like a shiny, glossy finish. But obviously this one will also add that glow in the dark look, I guess you would describe it. You can use it like Jeannie did where she actually colored in the windows. So she would just squeeze it out. Let's see if I can do this. Hi, Cindy. No worries. You're fine. We've only got through one thing, really. Oh, I'm going to have to probably unclog mine. Oh. Probably should test it on a piece of paper before you go right to your project. I know better. But yeah, you can just kind of color in the windows. And because it's clear, even though I got it off, you're not going to really notice it that much. I mean, it's basically clear. Let's see how much I can actually lift up. Might be a little bit shinier there. But that's how she did that one. Another option you can do is actually apply it. Now I just rolled right over it. So good. And that's why I end up making some cards like 6 times because I'm very sloppy. But another option is you can apply it. Let's do it a little bit. Oops. Oh, I moved the camera. Yikes. It caught the cord. Yeah. There we go. Everything's so there. 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 Okay, we're back. Yep, I know that's all of our, to be real, that's all of our crafting experiences, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm a little bit sloppy. But it all works out in the end. I get to the end point. But what you can do is take some white cardstock and you can apply it. There we go. You don't have to use your finger. I just don't really care. Apply it directly to the cardstock. And like, it doesn't have to be super thick, but you don't want it really thin. There we go. And then I would let that dry. And then I would basically have a panel that, you know, could be die cut from, or even could be used as a background. So that's another option. And I did that to the skeleton, but I don't think you can see it. I'll show you that later. But I did do that to one of the skeletons. So I used the lacquer pen for that. So the skeleton bust glows in the dark, which is cool. But you could do it to the moon, which is what we're going to move on to next. The moon die, the moon window die. Let me grab it here. Here is the moon window die. Beautiful. It has this like kind of creepy branch, but it's very delicate going across the moon. You can use it to be the focal point of your card really easily. It's very big. See, it's very large. And you can kind of use it 2 ways. You can use it like I did on this card to create a panel. So I die cut a panel of ink blended panel, and I die cut it with the moon window die. So I had this really kind of pretty windowed, or I guess windowed panel. I'm trying to avoid saying the same words over and over again. But I had that windowed panel, and then I just popped it up so it's dimensional. But I had this negative left over that I could totally use on another card. So that's very fun. I think I had some black cardstock. That's probably how I'd use it. Something like that. Look at how cool that looks. Oh, looks awesome. But this could be covered in that glow-in-the-dark lacquer pen too. Wouldn't that be cool to make your moon glow? In fact, one of our creative team members did that. So let's look at some of the projects with that awesome moon window die, which again is included in the September card kit. Let's see. Let's find them. So first we have this gorgeous one by Michelle. She's brilliant with clean and simple designs. This one is stunning. She did exactly what I mentioned earlier, except she didn't ink blend her panel. She just die cut out of a A2 panel of black cardstock with that moon die, popped it up, but she did do a little bit of blending in the background, just the tiniest of blending on white cardstock to make that moon look rounded. It's stunning. And then she stamped a couple bats. I mean, clean, simple, absolute perfection. Then we have this one by Rosie. This one's so cool because this one, you guys, it glows in the dark. Look at how cool that is. Look at in their picture, you can see the lacquer pen glowing. Ah, I love it. So good. And that's actually all the ones I have with the moon. I'm surprised. But you saw a couple earlier where it was used as a mask. Sika used it as a mask. So did Pam. So that's another option too. You can just use it as a mask to have a moon. All right. So it's already getting out of hand. We want to keep these things out actually, because I want to, but let's put these all away. So the next thing I'm going to share with you guys is the small stamp set that was included in the kit. It's called Animal Eyes. You've seen it already on a couple projects, mine and the background of Rachel's card. She used the eyes from that set. Here we go, put that over there. And that is a 3x4 stamp set. Use that. With some fun, kind of like nocturnal animals. We've got a cat, a rat, a raccoon, a crow, a raven, an owl, and a bat. And then you have a bunch of these like fun, spooky eyes. And then even the moon and some stars to kind of add to your scene. And then some great sentiments that play on that kind of creepy eye theme. You've got, I've got my eyes on you. I see you soon. So really cute. You saw me use it on this card here. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, Denise. Yeah, the different eyes are fun, right? Normally, Cindy, you just see like one pair of eyes. I love how they're different. That's really great for backgrounds because it's just more interesting to have that different variety. But here you can see I used the owl and the sentiment on this card. And let me pop back and show you the one, I think it was this one. Yep, this one by Rachel where she used the eyes in the background. So cool. What a great idea. Can you imagine those eyes, though, being stamped in glow-in-the-dark embossing powder? And Rosie did it on her card here. She didn't stamp it in glow-in-the-dark embossing powder. She just stamped them and heat embossed them on top of that glow-in-the-dark lacquer pen, which I didn't even know you could do. But I think that's what she did. It looks heat embossed. Maybe it's just stamped and stays on, but very effective. That's what it looks like with the lights off. Awesome. I wish Rosie was here so she could tell us what she did. She might share on her Instagram, so definitely check out her Instagram. If she comes in, sometimes she stops in later in the live. She does. We'll have to go back and ask her. I won't forget. Yeah, isn't the Animal Eyes awesome? So fun. And here, let's move on to a card by I always say her name wrong. Like Kailash. There we go. Kailash. She made this card with that beautiful blended background. Look at her moon too. She stamped the cat and the raccoon. That raccoon looks very scary. And then look at do you see the branch that she has at the top? That's actually the tree from the Haunted Scenic stamp set in the kit. The tree that we looked at earlier next to the haunted house. Isn't that brilliant how she used that? So clever. Isn't it so good, Cindy? She did such a great job. That blending on the background, almost like stained glass, right? Really awesome. Okay, so we did that set. Oh, and here's everything all stamped out. I'm not sure the best way to do that. Maybe we'll put it like that. Let's see, what else do we have in this kit? So the next thing, so we did the lacquer pin. There's also a unicorn pigment ink cube. So it's a smaller one. And again, like I mentioned, I do all my white heat embossing. I did this with the unicorn pigment ink. I just feel like I get better results for heat embossing. So I love this. This is going to be so handy. And there's also a bunch, 10 sheets, in fact, of Hero Art's black watercolor. Look at this stuff. It is so rich and black. Has a beautiful, a little bit of texture to it, just a little bit, just like what you would expect with a little bit of tooth, you would expect with watercolor paper. But if you guys have any pigment watercolors, like any of those iridescent ones or metallic sprays or our iridescent embossing powders, all of those will be incredible on this card, on this watercolor paper. And it's thick, guys. It is very thick and nice. It's so Hero Arts watercolor. They don't mess around. I love the Hero Arts Luxe White, and this black feels even thicker and better. It's just amazing. And these are 5.5 by 8.5, so you can get two A2 panels out of each one of these sheets. So a really great, a ton. I mean, 10 sheets in your kit. I can't believe that there's that many. And then there's 3 more things technically. I guess even 4 if you broke them all up. There's some more products also included. I don't actually have them. Yeah, Denise, that's really awesome. Is the glow-in-the-dark lacquer stick available outside the kit? I think so. Because I think I've had it before, but I can look it up real quick. Yeah, it's a bunch of paper. So lacquer pins, have you ever used glossy accents? It's like a little bit, it's not as thick as like our Hero Pearls, but it is shiny and you can apply it. Like usually glossy accents, you kind of flood a little area with it. Flooding is like a cake decorating term or cookie decorating, frosting decorating term, but you would fill an area with it. You can do that with die cuts. I used it. You can use it on a stamped image. But I think one of the best ways to use it is to cover. Here's what I was looking for. Take some white cardstock, rub it over, apply it, let it dry, and then die cut from it. That's one of my favorite ways to use it. If I'm not going to fill like a die cut well, that's what I would typically do. Oh, I hope it's not that way. Yeah, like glossy accents. Question, what do you have the stamps stored in? I just store them I use Hero Arts envelopes. Here's an example. Like this. That's what I have them stored in. All right, let me, I forgot my train of thought. Oh, let me show you the other products in the kit. The other 2 products, I'm grouping them 2 in my brain, are decorative tapes and hero transfers. So let me show you those. I don't actually have them with me yet, but I can show the picture of them to you. So here are the two decorative tapes. So both of these tapes are included in the kit. They're 1 inch, so they're actually pretty big. Great for envelopes, adding a little bit of decoration on your envelopes. Of course, you can use them in your card designs, but that's my favorite way to use these kind of tapes. You have the white pumpkins and the black crows, and they're 10 yards each. So each one of these tapes is 10 yards. So really fun. I think those would be the pumpkins I'm especially excited about. Can you imagine putting them on a colored envelope? They'll look so good. And then also included in the September card kit are these transfers. So you get one of each, one of the black, one of the white, and they're different images on both. And I love that the black one has a couple like sentiments you can use, lots of images. The white one though is very cool because the white transfers are my favorite because they look like heat embossing, but they're so easy to apply and they're flawless. They're flawless. So I think that white one especially, I love the skeleton you can see there, would be so fun. So if you haven't ever tried hero transfers, they're amazing. They've been included in the kits a couple of times. I think they're so fun to play with. Okay, let me pop back over. So that's everything. Oh, did someone answer the lacquer pin question? Good. And I'm not sure. I can pop real quick over and see if I thought we had glow in the dark lacquer pen before. Let me check real quick. It'll only take me half a second. So that's the whole card kit. Now we're going to move on to some of the other subscriptions. All of our subscriptions, you can either sign up for the subscription and receive it each month. You can also opt out of any months you don't want if you sign up for the subscription. You can, after the release, you can actually do a one-time purchase. So like now you can do a one-time purchase starting today of the card kit if you just want to do a one-time purchase. But the advantage of signing up for the subscription is that you're guaranteed the product. Because sometimes they sell out, and if you weren't a subscriber, then you would have missed out. So yes, the glow-in-the-dark, I thought so. The glow-in-the-dark lacquer pin is one we carry. You can get outside of the kit. So yes, you can get the glow-in-the-dark lacquer pen right now, even if you wanted to. Okay. So let's move on. So that's the whole September card kit. I'll put these guys away. Now we're going to move on to one of the other subscriptions. We're going to start with, which we call monthly minis. And the one, I got everybody coming home right now. So you hear my door lock going crazy. The first one we're going to start with is the fancy dies of the month. So the September fancy dies of the month, I've actually put on screen for just a half a second, are they're called Mere Portraits dies. Let me pull them out here. So this is what they look like. This is a large, ornate oval frame. Grab my panel here. See, it fills a A2 card front pretty much all the way. So very large, easy to become your focal point of the card. And this one is very evergreen. You could use this there's no reason why this couldn't be used any time of the year with flowers or even Valentine's. It has that kind of romantic feel, right? And there's also these silhouettes. So you get this die and these 3 silhouettes. And we've got like a gentleman, a child, and a lady. And they fit in there nicely. See how they go inside? Look how beautiful. It looks like one of those brooches, right? Very cool. What's very fun about, or clever, I should say, here's that frame die cut out. Look at how beautiful that is. Can you imagine that like heat embossed or die cut out of metallic cardstock? And then I just store the lacquer pins like in a drawer. I don't think they have to do anything special. And then, yes, cameo. That's the right word, Cindy. I can always count on you to know the right things are called. Here's the silhouettes die cut out. Perfect. They're so cool. But what's really clever about that the design team thought of is that you can easily have a little boy if you wanted to by simply cutting off that ponytail. And look at that. You now have a little boy. Isn't that cool? So clever that you could get 2 looks out of that. I thought that was such a brilliant idea that the design team thought of. So really great set. Now this set actually really coordinates well with our another die that was released this month. So this is is the September Fancy Dies of the month. The other die is not actually a subscription. It is, since I think they go so well together, I'm going to jump ahead to that. Usually I save all the non-subscription products after, even though everything I show you can be purchased today, one-time purchase. So nothing is just subscription. Make sure you have it. You get it. It doesn't, if it sells out, you didn't miss out. That's what a subscription ensures. But let me grab that other die set because they work so well together. It works very well with this Haunted Romance dies. These guys here, which are part of our Extraordinary Extras. So it's a separate die set. And again, it's called Haunted Romance. That skeleton actually works, fits, or is like the right size to go behind the silhouettes. So you can create some really creepy things. Let's pull that out here. And this guy here, I don't think I'm going to be able to show it. He's actually, I die cut him out of a panel that I covered with the glow in the dark lacquer pen. So this skeleton actually glows in the dark, but I can't turn off all the lights to show that. But that will go perfectly behind those silhouettes. Look at how creepy that is, but it's so cool. Now that totally reminds me of Haunted Mansion. And let's put these, I'm gonna move these over like this so you can see kind of both at the same time. I also have one cut out of black cardstock, so let's show you that. For the guy, what I would do is just flip the die cut over and look, it works for the guy. Does it work for the kid? Pretty much. I mean, pretty close. You might have to trim off a little bit, but it could work. That's too creepy though. It looks great. Look at that with the guy. It looks so cool. I just flipped the die cut over, so it's just I'm looking at the backside. But that's very cool. There's also a spider web in that Haunted Romance. So that's great for kind of adding to your frame. I mean, how cool is that? And there's even a rose. Oh, vellum. Judy, that's a brilliant idea. She says you can use it with vellum for the shadow to show through. That's so clever, Judy. I love that idea. Yes, I think there's a lot of design possibilities, like, and you know, like we're almost in the interactive gray area where like maybe the card isn't super interactive, but because it has that fun kind of reveal, it feels like an interactive card. Would be really cool. There's a lot there, I think. Because it could be a mirror. Rosie has a card that I'll have to show you that she did play it on that idea. Here's the rose where I just Copic colored it. So you can add that in. But like, it's so fun, right? Like so many things you could do with this set. I had to show these two together because they work really well. And I didn't even mention the bats. The bats would be great to kind of put in the background. Or maybe even like add the bats to the frame would be cool too. So I think there's lots you could do with these two sets together. Let me show you some of the samples from the creative team. Let me see. Here we go. Scroll down because there's so many samples. Look at this beautiful one by Kelly. She used the frame. She actually sprayed the frame with that metallic spray. And it's just stunning. Clean, simple. I love the little gems. Or I think she probably used one of our clear lacquer pen for that. So you can do dimensional dots with the lacquer pens too, just like you would with the pearls, but they are a little more liquidy, just a little bit more. And then we have this one by Natasha. Again, she used the metallic sprays. I love the way this one turned out. Look at her rose. Beautiful with the sprays. She's so great with texture. So much texture on this, and it looks stunning. And then we have this one by Sika. She's so great with clean and simple designs too. I love that she used the I've Got My Eyes on You, which is from that Animal Eyes set. Because again, I think she's thinking Haunted Mansion where the eyes look at you, right? The portraits look at you when you walk by. And then we have this beautiful one. I loved how she used the little girl, just so pretty. And then this one by Rosie was the one I was talking about. See, she used acetate and acetate card base. And then look what happened when you open it up inside. Look at that. Look at what she did. She like made a mirror. So clever. So yes, I think there's so many things here. She didn't do the vellum like Judy was mentioning, but like that's a whole other a brilliant idea is using that vellum too. Or like my idea to use the glow in the dark lacquer pen. Like there's just so many possibilities. So yeah, I think these two sets are going to be so fun. I cannot wait to see what you guys make with them. Yeah, that purple frame is beautiful, right? The mirror idea. I know, Cindy. Rosie's she's a genius. I was trying to combine brilliant and genius together. All right, let me put these aside. All right, so that was the fancy die of the month, the September fancy die, and a little bit bonus of the haunted romance fancy dies. Now we're going to move on to the September clear set plus dies in the month. So this is the stamp set with a coordinating die. Pull those out. We need some cardstock to put underneath. It is called Witch's Kitchen. Feels like it should rhyme. This is a really fun little scene building set. Made me think of Hocus Pocus instantly. I don't know why I didn't do a black flame candle. Missed opportunity big time. And here are the coordinating dies. So you get dies for all of the images, I believe. I'm trying to think of anything that didn't get dies. Like this, just not the spiderwebs, but everything else there's dies. Not the spiderwebs or the stars, but there's dies for all of these images and these two sentiments here. This one is a strip, so you don't really need a die for that one. So really awesome little set here for making kind of like a little witches layer. But what's really cool is this door die. This die actually lets you cut very, very easily a functional door. It makes a score line over here on this side. So when it's this way, it'd be the right side. Will make just a score line. It won't actually cut the door all the way out. So then you end up with this door that opens and closes. And I couldn't wait to take advantage of that feature. So I created a card with this September clear stamp set plus dies in the month. And you can see I made a whole scene. I used a cobblestone, older cobblestone stencil for the background. I actually ink blended and a little bit of Copic coloring. Did Copic coloring to all these images, but a lot of these images don't really need much coloring, like the hat, the bat, the cauldron, the cat, obviously the spider and spiderweb. Just a little bit of coloring here and there. This is where I should have done the black flame candle. And then the door opens up. See, look at that. And the stars are from the set, but the witch is from the September card kit of the month. So just use that to put a little image in my scene, but you could put anything in there. You could put your sentiment in there, which would be really fun too. So super fun set. Lots of fun creative play with that interactive door, and super easy to do thanks to the die. Just so simple. Fun. Okay, we have some other cards to show you with that one. So let me pull that out, or put those up, I should say. We have this awesome one by Karen. She did a landscape design kind of like me too. And I think she used the cobblestone on the ground, which is so funny. We didn't see each other's cards. So it's so funny. We did something kind of similar. And I love her little scene that she created. So, so cute. I love her little witch hat sitting on top of the broom. That's adorable. And then we have this card by Lydia. And what I love that Lydia is so good about her designs too, because I'm so narrow-minded a little bit. Like when I get a set like this, the first thing I think of, a scene. I'm going to make a scene. I love how she used the images kind of outside of a scene. And they're like the little accent, the perfect little element to her card. So great. I love the cat and the rat on the cat, rat, and the rat looking up at the bat. That all rhymes. So I love them sitting on that broom. That's so cute. Reminds me of, my daughter used to love an old, it was British made. Well, it's not that old. It's new, but it's old because it was when my kids were little. Witch that would fly around on a broom, and she had a cat that she flew with her. That's what it reminds me of. Okay, let's move on to the next monthly mini. Oh, yeah, the cauldron's fun. Yeah, if you're going to have a witch's kitchen, you got to have a cauldron, right? Next up, we're going to look at the, I'm running out of spots to put things. We'll put it on the ground. No, I'll put it in my lap. There we go. The next thing we're going to look at is the cling of the month. So this is the September cling of the month. It is beautiful. I love it. I can't help it. My heart loves them bold prints clings. I love them every time. This one is stunning. It's got this beautiful, lacy spider web all over the background. And then there are chandeliers. Let me show you. It's stamped out. So this again is the September cling of the month. Look at that. Oh my gosh, you guys. Isn't that beautiful? Now this reminds me of my favorite movie, which is Labyrinth. This just reminds me of that dance scene. I don't know why. Maybe I think it's mostly just because of the chandeliers, but this is so cool. And this would be so great with those portrait, the September fancy dies of the month, these and the haunted romance dies. This works so well with that, right? Those work so well with that image. So good. And unique, right? I've never seen anything quite like it. This kind of very fancy, spooky feeling. Very, very cool. Let me show you some of the cards created with that. I know the cling is so good, right? I love it. They do such a good job. So here is, he's out of order. This stunning card by Kelly. Look at how beautiful it is. She just did an ink blended background, framed it up a little bit with one of the pointed arch dies, and put Happy Halloween from the clear stamp set from the September card kit. It's just perfection. Look at her little embellishments though with the our enamel dots. Really, really pretty. Stunning. And then we have this card by Pam. Guys, look at this background. Heat embossed on black cardstock. She did silver, I believe, embossing powder. I mean, that's all you need. It's so striking and so much contrast. So pretty. And then here we have another one by Rosie. Again, she knocked it out of the park. Look at how fun that is. She also did heat embossing and kind of tone on tone. And I like that a little bit more subtle, but it really is cool with her fun sentiments that she put over the front. I think it works well with a cobwebbed kind of background. And then last we have this one by Jen. So she just used it for a little bit of texture on her bats and her background. She, I believe, stamped with white pigment ink over a blended background and then white pigment ink over black cardstock, over the pitch black cardstock. And it adds such a nice touch. She's so good with textures too. All right. That, again, is the September Cling in the Month. And it's called, I don't think I said the name. It's called Chandelier and Spiderwebs. That's what it's called. Really, really pretty. Gorgeous. All right. Now let's move on to the last monthly mini, which is the September Color Layering Stencils of the month. Stencils are also one of my favorites. I just think they're so fun because I love playing with different color combos, and they are like big impact for little effort, and you get to try out different color combos. Oh, so fun. And you know what? That just reminds me, where did I put those panels? Oh, I have them cut here. Yay. I can't wait for you guys to see them. Oh, I've got the leaf stencil in here. Yikes, that's August. I got to put that away in the right spot. Okay, here is the September color layering stencils of the month. It's called Color Layering Manor. It creates this amazing haunted house kind of set in an eerie scene or eerie landscape. It's so good, right, guys? Look at that. Look at all the detail. It's incredible. There's 4 stencils in the set. I'll put that down here like that. We've got, and all of Hero Art's stencils, well, all of the layering ones have these register marks, making it super easy to line up because you just line up every stencil with those marks, those 4 marks. And it's just very, very simple. So that's stencil 1, 2, then like there, 3, 4. Look at that. So 4 stencils, and essentially you could just use 4 colors and create, and that's how this scene here is just 4 colors. That's it. And it's big impact. Of course, I have to like be insane and use like 1,600 colors, but it's just my favorite thing to do. So here's one I did with kind of a blue and purple palette. And I think really the big trick here to really get a big impact with, I mean, this is amazing too, but just ink blending a little gradation in your sky adds a ton. Look at that. It looks so cool. I love this one. I love how this turned out. And I also do a little gradation here on the house. Just adds a little more interest. Very simple to do with stencils. So easy to do with stencils. So that's one that I created. Here's the second one. This one was the first one I made, and because I told you I'm narrow-minded, the first thing I'm going to do is do something very realistic. So this is my first one where I try to go really realistic. I did have to do a little bit of masking with this one to get kind of the ground brown and this part green, but I still really like how it turned out. Super fun. Again, did a little gradation in the sky and went for a very kind of creepy house, I think that time. Very dilapidated, but so fun. And I have a third one with different colors to show you. I know, it's crazy. Monster house. Yes, Crystal. Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. Here's another one I created with a bright green one. I obsessed with this one. I love the way this one turned out, especially with the ghosts. I just, after I ink blended this with the stencils and my colors, I thoroughly dried the panel with my heat tool so the ink wasn't wet at all anymore. And then I stamped the ghosts and poured white embossing powder over. And the ghosts are from the card kit, the September card kit, that big September, or that big haunted, or what is it called? Halloween scenic stamp set, that big one. So fun. You could do the witch. I mean, all those images from all those people, all those characters in that set work really well with the scale of this haunted house. So that's such a fun thing that you can play with them, stamping them on here as well. So many fun things you can do. Okay, of course, this one was a favorite by the creative team as well. So let's check that out. Let's check out some of the samples. Oh, I'm so glad you like it, Joanne. It's awesome.
When I'm not helping people with questions and requests, I like to write songs and stories.
So apparently my you-know-who thought I said her name. Okay, here is one by Clash. I say it wrong every time. I'm so sorry. It's like Thai. Kailash. There we go. There we go. Kailash. Look at her colors. I love how this turned out. And look, she used the witch and the pumpkins from the Halloween Scenic stamp set, which was, again, part of the September card kit of the month. Perfect. It looks so good. I love the pumpkins out front, and I love her colors. It seems so Halloween-y to me. And this super moody one by Charlene. Look at it. It's beautiful. And she did something different where she did kind of like these splatters on it. I love that. It almost looks like a photograph to me. It looks like an aged photograph of an old house. Really, really pretty. And she did something a little bit different where she made her house a little bit darker. For all my cards, my house was kind of light and my background was dark. But I love how she did this with her background being a little, like the sky being a little bit lighter. It almost has like this, like really atmospheric kind of eerie feeling to it. And then we have this fun one by Rachel. I love how she used the rat from the Witch's Kitchen and the bats from the Halloween Haunted Romance set. So she used a lot of the other sets to create. And even a stencil is that 31, which we haven't got to. We'll get to that. So she used a lot of other elements. I love the bats in this. I love that pop. She did a great job of balancing her scene with black. So very cool. Right, guys? These are so fun. Let's just see. All right. Okay, let's move on to... So that is all the subscriptions. We did the card kit at the first. We did all the monthly minis, which were 4 options, the fancy dies, clear set plus dies, cling, and this one, the layering stencils. The last thing is the whole kit, which you can get everything that I just showed you, everything, the card kit, all of the minis. Let me just put it on screen real fast so you can see that. That's always available, and it's a subscription option too. There you go. So you can always sign up for the whole kit to always ensure you get everything. Because again, all the things that I showed you, when these sell out, they sell out. So all the things that I've showed you so far, once they sell out, we are out. Okay. And at the bottom, you can see the monthly minis that I just finished showing you. Okay, so that's the whole studio. Let's move on to the extraordinary extras. We have a few of those to show you. You've seen one actually already. You saw that Haunted Romance Fancy Dies, because I just had to show you those with the Fancy Dies of the month because they work so well together. Put these away very quickly. All right, so let me show you first a stamp set that's part of our September Extraordinary Extras. This is the Halloween Messages set. You've actually seen this several times on cards already. Lots of great sentiments in this set. There's actually 16 sentiments. I have them all stamped out here so you can see that. That makes it a little bit better. Let's pop over here to the comments again. And look, they're so fun. There's lots of different kind of fonts. They all go together, but they are a great variety. I love that the different looks. They're all very linear, which makes them so easy to kind of cut out or make into a sentiment strip. I just find linear sentiments easier for me to incorporate in my card designs. You can also curve them. Oops. Sorry about that. I had my everything on Do Not Disturb, so I don't understand. I'll put it back on again how that happened. Okay. And there's just a ton of them. We have a Wicked Birthday, like, so not just Halloween themed. So that would be Spooky Greetings. That would be Halloween. Hello, Beautiful. That could be used in other ways. Always maybe like a ghost though, but and then there's some fall ones too, like Hey Y'all or Happy Fall, Pumpkin. So a lot of great sentiments for your fall or Halloween, mostly Halloween card making. Really great one. I love this one. Who open this card if you dare. Rosie used that on this card. Or for your boo. Yes, I didn't think about that, Crystal. Yes, for your boo. I love that. I didn't think about that. That's cute. I want to show you real quick, again, Rosie's card, because I think she used these so cleverly. Here we go. Show. Oh, it's not working. There you go. Okay, I think I dropped out for half a second. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm back. I hope you can hear me. If you could give me a thumbs up to let me know you can hear me, that'd be very helpful. Lori says we're frozen. Okay, great. Sorry about that. I was afraid we were gone for good. Okay, I'm glad I'm back. So that's Rosie's card. You can see she used all these sentiments, the beware, open this card if you dare, all from that Halloween messages stamp set. Thank you, guys. Thank you for letting me know you could hear me. I appreciate that. And let's see. There is another card I want to show you with this Halloween messages set that Kelly made that's so brilliant. Here we go. Look, she used the sentiments, stamped them in different colored inks for a background. Kelly's so smart with how she uses images and sentiments. She's very, very clever. And I love how this turned out. So, so cool, right? I could see a whole background stamped like that. It's just, that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. All right. Now, we'll move on to, real quick, I'm going to show again the Haunted Romance Fancy Dies, just because I have a card that I forgot to show you and a couple cards I forgot to show you. So I want to put something on screen. But where did they go? Are they in my lap? Yes, they are. Okay. There they are. Those are the Haunted Romance dies. These are, again, part of our extraordinary extras. These ones, this Haunted Messages or Halloween Messages, this one and the next 3 products that I share with you, we will restock. So you don't have to have that urgency. But the other products, if you saw something that I showed in the first part of this video, this live, get on ordering it, because when those sell out, we don't restock those. But these ones are safe. So this one, again, we showed you that it worked really well with the fancy dies. Now I'm going to show you, or the September fancy dies of the month. I'm going to show you this card that I used just these dies with. This one here. The only additional die I used is one of the Pointed Arches die, but I did a little Copic color. You saw the rose that I already colored earlier. Here's that sentiment from the Halloween Messages set. And the bats I Copic colored. Everything was cut out of white cardstock. I just Copic colored. I even colored the spiderwebs a little bit, but you can't really tell. I did add a little bit of coloring to the skeleton, so he has a little bit more interest, like texture and shape, but very, very easy, actually. And just fun to show you that you can use these on their own, too. They work, actually, this is a really strong set all on its own. And I used everything in here except for that window is dies from that Haunted Romance die set. And let's see, I have just a couple cards to share with you from the creative team. We have this one by Jenny, which is so good. I love that red background. She did use the frame, the oval frame from the September Fancy Dies of the Month. She also did Hello Beautiful. And I love how she also colored her rose. So such a really pretty card. I love how she put the rose in that oval with the skeleton. That looks so great. So yeah, very, very fun die set. Let's move on to another die set that's part of the September Extraordinary Extras. You saw many times already. It's these infinity or bat infinity dies. There are 7 dies in this set. This big bat here is huge. Grab my trusty grid here to show you the scale. He's too big to fit all the way across an A2 card front when it's portrait style, but when you turn it landscape, he barely fits. Actually, I think it might be just a tad too big, just a hair too big. Very, very large. Great. These would be great for like decorating. I could see this one especially. It's definitely asking to be a shaker. This one could be used for decorating too, I think. Also, that big one, like I think I've seen people like they take bats and they cut out a paper and then they just fold them a little bit. I got them here. And then they like stick them onto their walls. So they just fold them a tiny bit like that. And then they stick them in it like is dimensional on the wall like that. It makes a cool shadow. So those would be fun. I think you could actually use it for like decor or decoration. But of course, yes, Crystal, a shaker card, absolutely, especially if you had some really cute like clay shaker components. They're so fun. But here they are all cut out. Let me show them to you. So that's the largest one. Again, I'm going to put him on here. I think he's a little bit easier to see that way. There we go. Yeah, it's hanging off a little bit, Crystal. It is. Oh, let's see what the die cut is. See, can you see that? It's just, if you were to cut it off, no one would notice. But yeah, he's just a hair bigger than a 5.5. Just a tad bigger. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that? A little bit hanging off. Diagonal? Yeah, I think that would fit. Yeah, it fits diagonal. Totally. That would work. And you have enough space to even like pop it up and it be a shaker. It definitely work diagonal. Eyes on it, Cynthia. That's brilliant. But it looks good cut off because Kelly made that card with the, I don't know if you remember, the Haunted Messages stamp set where she stamped the sentiments in different inks. And then she had the bat, the largest bat actually kind of slightly off, and she just cut off part of the wing. It looked real good. All right. And then we have, this is the neck size. So you can see I've cut the alternate one, the one down in a different color. So there's that one. That one fits perfectly. It just fits. But he can also be angled, no problem, just like the big one. And then we have this one. So again, there's 7. There's the other one. This one really, and this bat die really reminds me of Batman. It has a very Batman look. This one. And I think the last one I'm going to have to put down with my tweezers. It's because he's so tiny. Teeny tiny. Okay, that is all of those Bat Infinity die set. Really handy. This one that you're going to get a ton of use out of. These Infinity dies are awesome. They're just kind of staples. And I think you shaker. I didn't even think of shaker. That's a brilliant idea. Oh, I have a lot of card samples to show you. So let me show you, because it was used a lot by the creative team. Again, because it's so versatile. Let me show one. He is kind of creepy, Denise. I agree. But he reminds me of Batman. So I kind of think of him like a logo almost. Here we go. We've got first. Let's do this one by Michelle. She used it on tags. I love how she had it hanging off the tag. Isn't that great? And she sprayed him with some of our black metallic spray. Just a little bit of shine and texture over black cardstock. Looks amazing. Looks absolutely amazing. And then we have this one by Natasha. Again, she's so good with textures. Look at that background. Insane. And then the bats on top of that, those black, pitch black bats just placed on top. Perfect accent. Really breaks it up. It looks so good. And then we have this one by Kelly. I love how she used two different kind of cardstock. She used the pitch black cardstock and then some black glitter cardstock. Love the texture. And then just used a very, very pretty, I think she ink blended that background. Not totally sure. It looks maybe ink blended. And then this one by Rosie. Look at what she did. She die cut the bats out of a bunch of different colored cardstocks and created such a fun background. I love that idea. And you could do just like one bat, a different color, and then put your sentiment on that too. That would be very fun. And then I'm just going to pop back to, because you've seen it before, but I just want to pop back to this one by Kelly, where you see she used that large bat and she cut off the wings a little bit, but it looks real good. I like that look as well. Okay, so that, let me pop back to the comments. So fun. That is the Bat Infinity dies. We have another extraordinary extra. Oh, this one, I can't wait to show you. You've seen it a ton already. This is the Halloween Words stencil. Look at it. It's epic. This is an epic stencil. Oh, and you got to see a sneak peek already. Let me open it up here. I had so much fun creating with this, and I got even some more ideas that I want to try. But this could even almost be used for, like, I think scrapbooking in addition to card making. Great for just a subtle bit of texture in a background. I don't do subtle very well. So I made it like big focal point, but here I used it on top of a background that I ink blended, sort of like a candy corn look. Ink blended with gray first. And then I just simply shifted the stencil. So I ink blended it in gray here, like there. And once I finished, I shifted the stencil and then ink blended with black. Super, super easy and mega impact, right? Those letters look dimensional, like popping off the page. So fun. And then I used paste as well. So I also, in this one, ink blended a background, kind of irregular with a green and two purples. Added a little bit of water spots, and then used Hero Art's black Hero Wax. So it's kind of shiny. Oh, the Hero Wax is so cool. And then for that sentiment, it's actually from the stencil. I just used white Hero Wax on pitch black cardstock and then fussy cut around it for my sentiment. So that's fun too, because you can kind of pick and choose. Like that 31 we saw Rachel use with that layering stencil, that haunted manor. She put a 31 in the corner. So you can kind of use just some of the words from the set as well, but you can also use it for a subtle background, which I have to show you that the creative team did. Let's go here, because they did that a lot. We had this one here. You can see it in the background of Natasha's card. Awesome. Let's see if I can remember which ones, because we have it here on with iridescent embossing embossing powder. She used it with embossing powder. That's something I didn't even do. I used wax and ink, but you could use embossing powder. You would apply embossing watermark ink and then apply the powder over. Let's see if I can remember any other ones. I know it's used a lot in the backgrounds. You saw it here. Here's Rachel's card when she used that 31 in the corner. And then here is a very awesome background where she spritzed it with metallic sprays. And then I believe she ink blended over with the stencil on top of that metallic spray background. Really, really pretty. This one's by Karen. So good. All right. Okay, so that was the stencil, the Halloween words stencil. I mean, lots of potential there. So many fun things. I know I missed some cards that I showed that used it in the background, but there's so many. It was all used kind of more subtly. So it's a great one for just adding a little bit of texture to your background with some fun Halloween words. And then we have the last extraordinary extra is also a product that I don't actually have with me here at my house. It is the Autumn. I wrote it down because I can never remember names. Hold on, let me see if I can get it. Pull it up here. Everything fell over when the camera moved. I lost my cheat sheet. Okay, Autumn Leaves Decorative Tape is what it's called. Really, really pretty. This was actually inspired by a card that I created for an upcoming event. And the leaves I made, these leaves are the watercolor leaves from a card I made. I thought it was so neat. The design used the leaves that I created for the inspiration for this tape. I thought that was so awesome. That makes me feel special. But it's going to be a really pretty tape. And I think, again, would be really fun to include on the envelopes of your card, just that nice extra little addition. Okay, so that was everything I think I went through. So we had that, the tape, the stencil. I'm going to go through real quick everything. The Halloween words stencil, the bat infinity dies, the haunted romance fancy dies, the Halloween messages stamp set. That's all the extraordinary extras. Again, all these ones we do get restocked. Now we're going to go back through all of the subscriptions, and we're going to go start with the last subscription we saw, which was the layering stencils. I remind myself. Let me pull it out here. The September color layering stencils, specifically called color layering Manor. Then we have the September cling of the month, which is Chandelier and Spiderwebs. Then we have the September clear set plus dies, and that is the Witch's Kitchen. Put that underneath so you can see Witch's Kitchen. So that 4x6 clear stamp set with coordinating dies, and again, that awesome door die that cuts a functional door. We'll put them like that. And then the last monthly mini was the Fancy Die of the Month, September Fancy Die of the Month, which is the portrait mirror portraits. Got those backwards. And then we're on to the kit. So I'm put these over to the side. The kit's so huge, I have to do it separate. The card kit of the month included the awesome animal eyes, 3x4 stamp set, the large 6x8 Halloween scenic stamp set, the 20 coordinating dies that go with that, the moon window die, and then the additional products included that was a glow-in-the-dark lacquer pen. Oh, here it is. It's like, where did he go? So fun. A unicorn white pig mini. Awesome. One of my absolute favorite inks. 10 sheets of incredible black watercolor paper. Gonna be so great for creating Halloween cards. And then 2 other products. Again, I'm gonna pop them real quick on screen because I don't have them here and I don't have any other way to refer to them. The decorative tapes, white pumpkins and black crows, and then the 2 Halloween transfers. And again, one is black. You get one of the black ones and one of that white one. So I think it's really cool because they're 2 different sheets. All right, let's pop back here. All right, guys, that is the entire September release, all of the subscriptions and the extraordinary extras. I do have a video on the whole release, or on the card kit, the monthly minis, and the whole studio, and even the extraordinary extras. That's a separate video. You can find both of those, links to those on our blog. The card kit 1 monthly minis is already up on our YouTube channel. You can find it there too. And tomorrow I have a video coming out on Hero Art's YouTube channel. It's not a live, so it'll be up on the blog and YouTube channel around 4 a.m. Pacific. So I think that's 7 a.m. Eastern, where I create this card. I show you how to create this card and share with you a really fun technique and easy technique to get all that texture that you see there on that haunted house and even on the pumpkins, but it's harder to see. So definitely check that out. And I think that's, oh, and tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific, so 7 p.m. Eastern, we have another Hanging with Hero. If you've not seen our Hanging with Heroes, they're a really awesome series of lives that Erin, the CEO of Hero Arts, and Jennifer McGuire co-host and bring on basically luminaries in the industry and talk and just kind of share kind of crafty history and fun. They're a very awesome series. You can find the playlist on our YouTube channel as well as on our website. But tomorrow we have a new one, and we are going to have Jen Shirkus on. She's incredible. She's so talented. She's an amazing teacher and a very just fabulous person. So I'm so excited. I can't wait to watch. I hope you guys can join us for that Hanging with Hero tomorrow at, again, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. All right, guys, thank you so much. And I will see you in the next live. Bye, everyone. Let's see if there's any questions. Oh, I should check. Let me see if there's any questions. Okay, great. She is so good at Copic coloring. You're right, Fran. She's amazing. She's so good. She's a very good teacher with Copic coloring, especially. Makes it very accessible, so it's not intimidating. All right, guys, I hope to see you tomorrow at the Hang with Hero, and thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.